that time, and he wanted to try out new structure, which is we were talking about some time back, called non-linear structure, where the story is not told in a straight manner or a linear fashion, but told as two structures. So that at that time was the first time I met him. And so we had underwent a lot of this thing, because at 99 it was difficult for us to show. I mean, on the script level it was very interesting, but when you see it for a comprehension, we are able to comprehend because we are very involved with it. But for a common audience to comprehend that, if you've seen that film, there are two narratives happening, and they come and join at one point, present and past. The present is happening while suddenly you slip into the past, what happened a few days back or something, and then present again happens, then again past, and then the present and past intertwine at one point. So this is the difference in a love story. Otherwise, if you take off the treatment, it's a general love story. Two people fall in love and what happens after marriage. So because it was that, and he wanted to try a different structure. So we struggled a lot with this, because we didn't want it to be not understood, that you're going, and we are not going back where conventionally what used to be before was that you stop the story at point and say, I'm going flashback. You know what happened that day, and you go back to that point. We are not doing like that. We are just going. So even this transition which you saw, which was going back and things like that, we created to make people understand. Otherwise, we would have, if we had audience who we thought that would easily catch it, we wouldn't have had even transitions. We would have just gone present back and come to a point. But we couldn't. The interesting thing was that it was several times forward and back in the story, in the way the script was written. But then we devised a way, in only few times we go back and forward, not to confuse the audience. And we developed this, and we were happy with the cut. And then what we did was, we had a test audience, which had the drivers and the one production guy, everybody. They saw the film and they liked it very much. So we had the first $1 million question was, did you understand that it was going past and forward? Does it confuse you? A couple of them very coolly said, where is the past and where is the present? So we said, anyway it's working. So okay, we let it go into the theatre. And so I mean, this was my first experience with him. Since then we've tried a couple of times. You were also, we tried something which, as a film it didn't work, but we just tried to have 3 point of views of 3 stories going from one particular incident and things like that. See, working with him is quite a challenge. Very easy to work with him, for me. But he pushes the thing to maximum extent to get whatever better can come, So you also push yourself to give a little more. That sort of unhealthy competition is there. And he is very technician-oriented director who gives maximum. He explains clearly what he wants, but he gives maximum freedom to see what the technician would give him, be it a cameraman, be it an editor. So there's a very healthy competition that goes on, and there's a lot of work, but it's a very enjoyable work. And he's a very passionate filmmaker that way.
Hi sir.
Hi.
Who is your favorite director?
Maniratnam. So many people are there.
Hello sir. I've heard something about erstwhile editors, but I don't know exactness about that information. So earlier editors like Bhaktavatsalam, so they were not minding to tell directors, it's not good, you please come back and reshoot. So for a good editor, should he have this kind of daringness and
yes, definitely he should. I mean, you should not tell it rudely, but you should tell what is not working. Otherwise, it is counterproductive to have an editor and not tell. I mean, it's not as easy as I'm telling it is, because if you're just coming up as an editor, probably, and if you're working with somebody senior, he would probably not give you that much chance. But given a chance and given in a nice manner, you have to put forth your perspective, because it will only make the ultimate product better. And so they should, I mean, they don't have to be arrogant, but they have to be definitely pushy enough to get the thing on the right track. I think that's an editor's job also.
Hi sir, here?
Yeah.
Here sir. You are mentioning linear, non-linear method of editing, like when to open, when to close up a film. If you can tell me any of your film which is written linearly, but at the end of the day, while cut, after the edit, which has come up non-linear method.
One film has happened the opposite way actually. One Sri Lankan film was, I edited a Sri Lankan film, which directed by filmmaker Prasad. He's made some interesting, you could call art house films. So in his narrative, it was about a Sri Lankan girl marrying a Sinhala soldier. She doesn't know about his past, and he's a pawnbroker. She gets married to him, then realizes that he is a guy who's been in the army, who could have probably killed some Tamils and all that. And that's the emotional story. And at the end, she commits suicide. This is the story of the film. Now, the director comes up with a narrative where, at the first instant itself, he shows the dead body, and and then you go back in the story and show part of the story, then come back and near the dead body they're waiting, and then it's like that. It's a series of non-linear events where, so during the editing of the film, I realized that this is not going to work, because if I know that she's already dead, till they actually have a relationship which is good and they fight, it's okay. But then from there onwards, I know that she's going to die. Which is another 40% of the film. I felt we will not be able to actually enjoy that. So after he had given the script and it was edited according to him, I tried a thing where just pulled off the information that she's already dead, and worked the voiceover with him talking and she talking among themselves in the film, which is after her death, but you don't know at that point that you're saying death and all that stuff. So like that we worked and we came to the point of death, and somehow felt it was working better. Emotionally it was better for a love story to have such an end. So like that sometimes it happens like that. There's another film called Firar, which is written non-linear, but we changed a lot of structure because it had 5 stories and 5 stories were going parallelly till the end. So always these multi-narratives have a thing is that if you're watching one story and then you're jumping to another story and then coming back to another story, if any particular story occupies too much time, then you would probably forget your previous story. So they have to be in a very similar rhythm. If you've seen the classic films like abroad films like Traffic and Babel and all that, if you see they'll be at very good proportion. So you come back. In this film, it's about Gujarat riots. They're not showing Gujarat riots, it's only at the background, and these stories are happening. What we realized was, as the film went, there was no high towards the end of the film. So we had to change the whole structure in a way that what was coming as a high, one murder which was coming in the middle of or at the 60th percent, we just tried to shift it at the back and restructured the film, and it worked much better. So like that, lots of things do happen in the process of editing.
Hello sir. Yeah. My name is Avitosh. In terms of movie editors, you are my first love. I have 2 questions for you, sir.
Yeah.
One is your experience with 2 movies, Okado and Atado.
Yeah.
How how do you rate yourself, I mean, how do you rate your work in those movies? And in terms of the footage that the directors came up with and the way you molded it. That's the first question. My second question is, if a film's output is completely bad, it's gone something wrong, how much responsible, how much role the editor has to play, I mean, how much role has the editor in it? Is it like the footage that the director came up with, this is the best I could do, or do you think
See,
could have done better?
I'll answer your second question first. See, it always could happen that what they wanted to go and shoot may not be the one which has come. So, as an editor, I think my loyalty still lies with the fact that it has to be salvaged to do. You know, I cannot, once I've committed to the project, I would never say that, oh my God, this is gone case, no point. It's not like that. For me, it is how to work around this and make it more interesting or more shorter, more, you know, keep working on it to get to a point where, you know, it's, it may not be completely okay by the end of it, maybe, but at least get it to a point where you feel that you've done enough to salvage the whole film, no? So that is the sort of commitment I would expect from my editor to whatever project he is doing, whether it's up to his expectation or not expectation after shoot. And regarding your first question, they were pretty interesting films, both the Telugu films you're talking about, Okadu and Atadu. They were on a bigger canvas in terms of, Okadu was probably more fresh for me than Atadu in terms of content and way it was presented. Even in Okadu, we had this problem. The other gentleman had asked me about this non-linear narrative, because originally the director had written the script in such a way. I mean, I think if you have seen, only you will understand it. I think the other people may not understand. But the thing was, the main villain will get hit by the hero at one point, and the whole film will start. That's how it was written. And the whole film was, some people have said in different languages, it has come as Gilli in Tamil. So that is how it was written in the script, because he wanted some new technique to start off his story. But then you realize with the film that you're not able to hold attention after such a big incident, then to watch the whole flashback and this, so we had to remove that and go back to a linear format where we normally show everything and come to a point where actually that particular sequence comes. So that was also, and it worked better with the common audience, I guess. He's a good director, and I've been working continuously with him.
Yeah, hello sir. I want to know about your process of planning before you start your edit, because I've heard, as in if you plan and you organize your stuff well before you start the edit, everything goes very smoothly. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. The thing is that planning means footage is already there with you. See, what happens is, what sort of problems an editor can find with the footage is that he could get overburdened in the mind with the amount of footage. So if you have, suppose, for example, an hour of footage for a 2-minute sequence, obviously your mind gets bogged and you are slightly confused because there's so much. That whole thought that there's so much itself is going to put pressure on yourself, because you have to watch. So what I suggest to whomever I work for, I'm advising, is that we go through the rushes and I pick out all the good ones and reduce it. Maybe level 1, level 2, reduce it, and then start the edit. Then what happens is that you will not get burdened with so much footage, and then you will only have all the good moments. Now with the good moments, it could be the same performance and the wide and it could be the close, but you would have picked both. Then you try a combination of how to go about it. This is an easier way for an editor to do it, than actually getting, because it's so difficult for you to actually remember that if you have a 1 hour timeline and you're going to remember the first one, and after 58 minutes this is going to be, go there and pick it out. It's going to be a little cumbersome and it's going to take a lot of time and you may miss things. So it's better to shortlist things first, get it into a smaller timeline and then start working on your edits.
Good evening, sir. Sir, here.
Okay.
Sir, especially when using multi-cameras, will you discuss with the cinematographer in pre-production? Or normally, is it normally in pre-production stage, will you discuss with cinematographer about editing, angle, all these things?
Not about angle we don't discuss, but what we discuss with the director in the films where they give us the freedom to discuss is the style of edit. Because everybody wants to have a particular style of filmmaking. So I'll give you an example with Yuva itself. We had very predeterminedly discussed and gone with a plan because there are 3 stories coming separately. Each had a particular way of edit and each had a color palette of first to shoot and camera lensing. If you see the first story with Madhavan, for the Tamil version, Madhavan will be, everything will be shot from one perspective only. Wide, close and tight, everything is shot from one angle only. There is no over shoulder at all. And for the Surya portion, it is shot as lengthier takes where it's orchestrated as movements. And for Siddharth's portions, it was shot, everything was shot at tele. So those 3 gave 3 different look for the film and in style. So when you're cutting also for Madhavan's portion, I cut in such a way that it's very unpredictable, the cuts, because the character is like that. So we devised a plan of doing it like that. For their love story, we went smooth, like that. And for him, this, like we saw in fight also, we played around with time, like even the fight we tried to make the speed of the shot, where the impacts are slow and the other motions are fast. The fight is fast, but when the impact happens, it's slow. We tried it at that time. So those sort of things we had planned, and then they went and executed.
Definitely, you are discussing with the cinematographer.
Cinematographer and director.
More creative. Can editing be more creative?
I can't.
Can editing be more creative?
More creative than what? Can I become better, you're asking? I would like to, that's what I'm trying. Every film I'm trying to be better.
Hello sir, you had mentioned that an editor should enhance the actor or actress performance. Have you, without taking any names, come across any cases in editing where the editor's cuts have actually harmed the actor or actress performance?
See, enhance, I mean, is by taking the right moments, because a number of times a particular thing has been shot. So you take the right moments, select the right moments, I mean, to put it very clearly to you, suppose this whole speech of mine, whatever, this 1 minute what I'm speaking to you, is shot as once, shot second time, shot third time, shot fourth time, to get it to speak better. What happens is, the first 10 seconds of the first time I spoke may be better. This 30th to 40th second of the third time I spoke may be better. And the last portion may be end, last fourth take may be better. It's like this. So we look at those and take those moments out and use it into the edit instead of actually. Regarding marring somebody's performance, no comment.
My question is, how important is sound editing and sound design for a good film?
Yeah, I think it's very important because what if it permits in the films which they permit us to do, we try to bring the sound recordist also into the loop of things during the script stage itself, whereby it enables, because what is important is is ambience. How to recapture the ambience of what you're shooting is mostly done in studio, which is not so effective. But if the person knows, the sound guy knows about the story, knows what is happening, while the whole process of shooting is happening, he can capture a lot of sound and use it in the post-production. And also I think we need the support, a lot of places during the editing, we are cutting in such a way that it has to be underlined by sound. So I usually like to have a good rapport with the sound engineer. See, a lot of times I'll just give you a small example to easily understand, is that somebody would come in and somebody would go out. This whole process is there, and then I'll go and get into the car. This is what they've shot. And then the car is going with me in. So there's two. Now when I watch, I feel the whole point of me going out, getting into the car, and all is not arresting enough as a visual at that emotion. Suppose I'm angrily walking out. So then I decide that no, the same effect can come in a different way. I go out and bang the door. At that moment I cut the sequence, and then I'm showing you already going in the car. So this thing, if it is supported by sound, the first sound which you require at the cut would probably be the door sound. And then you immediately have to know that you are in the car. So you need the sound of the car in a particular way so that it registers that you are moving to the car. So these sort of things can be underlined with good rapport between the edit and the sound recording.
So, and one more thing is, like, both are two different technicians, or it can be handled by one person, video editing and sound editing?
Generally it's two different people. Most of the time. There may be some people who are doing it, but I think it's always different people.
Thank you so much.
ಯಾರೋ ಮಾರುತಿ ಕಾರ್ 6180 ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದಂತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಪೊಲೀಸರು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ಕಾರ್ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿ ವಿನಂತಿ. ಮಾರುತಿ ಕಾರ್ 6180.
So good evening. Thank you for coming to Bangalore. We are happy to have you here. It's a pleasure to listen to your experience. Coming to my point is, one is two. My question is, have you come across a situation, we are all working with the director's vision, and there are a lot of rushes given to you. Have you felt that you have enough story with the stock you have? Like, it must be, because I've come across that too often. I have a story to tell, and we shoot and come, and there's an entirely different story which can be told with the same stock. Have you come across in this 30 years?
It's, I don't know whether entirely new story, but entirely different interpretations and point of views have been possible at lots of times, you know. There's a film called Kamine, and Hindi, you know, it's also again a double story, two brothers, twin brothers. There was a lot of what you call talk to the film before, where there's an extensive sequence shot, spending a lot of money and things like that. But that was totally confusing the whole. It was making such a good impact that what came after that was very down and also confusing. So at various stages we had to, the director was still holding on to that sequence because they spent a couple of crores on that. And then he didn't want it. It was very brilliantly shot. It's on the DVD, but it's not there in the film. So he was holding on to it for a long time. And for me, from the beginning, I was feeling that's not the point of view of the thing. If you put that the next whatever is coming is not, you're not able to feel it at all. So then after a couple of screenings with people and stuff like that, then he said, okay, I'm letting it go, and then we had to let it go and start the whole film from a different perspective of two brothers and their life. And so like that, sometimes it does happen.
Yeah, hi sir. Nowadays, every people have expecting to be quickly everything. So it comes to the film point. When the film duration, when I have a script